Jamaican people love Ghana. Historically, we love Ghana. Millions of people in the Caribbean that would like to come back to the motherland. When I call my friends back home and I say I'm in Ghana, and we switch to video call and I show them around, there's not one friend that doesn't want to come. Like direct flights between the African continent and the Caribbean.
Wow.
That's what we need. We do not need to go through America or to go through Europe. If we can have direct flights and direct trade sort of with each other, I think that we'll learn more about both cultures. The hospitality of the people, that's what struck me most. I'm in the company of my brothers and my sisters, so it's just like reuniting with my family. Honestly, that's the feeling for me. It's a feeling of reuniting. It is really home.
Wow. Epic Awards. Remember to like and share to this amazing video. I'm here with
Dean Graham.
D Green. Where are you from?
Originally from Jamaica, but I live in London.
Wagwan.
Everything blessed.
Everything Irie.
Everything Chris.
Everything crazy. Wagwan Ghana.
Ghana is popping. It's happening. We love Ghana. Jamaican people love Ghana. Historically, we love Ghana.
You love Ghana?
100%.
So what made you come to Ghana?
We see Ghana as home. We are in tune with our history. We know that this is where we're from, and this is just us returning home.
So being in Ghana and returning home, how do Ghanaians treat you being in Ghana?
I feel very welcomed, very well received. Everywhere I go, local Ghanaians are saying, "Welcome back home, my brother." The hospitality of the people, that's what struck me most. How hospitable people are. If I were to sum Ghana up, like, in one word, that would be hospitality for me.
Wow. So you've never seen this kind of hospitality anywhere?
The funny thing is, coming from the Caribbean, tourism is sort of our main industry. But I must admit, I do not think that we master hospitality as Ghanaians do. Like, we make billions from tourism, but we are not as hospitable and well-trained and welcoming as Ghanaians are. Promoting awareness.
Okay.
I think over the years there's been a lot of misinformation,
okay,
a lot of concerted efforts to sort of divide us.
Okay.
We all know about the notion of divide and conquer, divide and rule. So I think it's about spreading awareness of the two cultures. What we need is, investment as well, an investment in terms of like direct flights between the African continent and the Caribbean.
Wow.
That's what we need. We do not need to go through America or to go through Europe. If we can have direct flights and direct trade sort of with each other, I think that we'll learn more about both cultures.
In terms of that, what you said, leave a message for, the government who are in control of that.
I know that there has been efforts in the past, even currently, to have direct flights between Africa, and, notably Nigeria and Ghana and the Caribbean. But there's value to that. I cannot stress that enough. I think a lot of Caribbean people would like to return home. And the value that we would bring is, it would definitely increase tourism and trade and create employment. But if we have to go through Europe, or if we have to go through the Americas, it makes it much more expensive. And there are lots of other barriers, not only financial barriers, but we have to get a visa and so forth like that. So eliminating that barrier and have, direct flights, I think would facilitate trade and travel between the African continent and the Caribbean 100%. I think that if someone was to be able to sort of do a business case to see whether or not it would be commercially viable, my hunch is that it is commercially viable. If you look at, take Jamaica as a country on its own, and the Caribbean, I know that there are millions of people in the Caribbean that would like to come back to the motherland. When I call my friends back home and I say I'm in Ghana, and we switch to video call and I show them around, there's not one friend that doesn't want to come. But, like I say, I've been fortunate to live abroad, to live in the UK for a while, and to have different sort of travel documents. So it is easier for me. But there's a massive barrier for, people who just sort of hold a Caribbean passport of whatever country. But I know that the demand is definitely there, and they'd love to come.
Sometimes when you hear things about African blacks, how is the feeling like in terms of negative news?
It can be a lot. I've been fortunate that I have sort of educated myself like on the topic, ever since I was a young man. So, I know what the misinformation are. I know what is being said. So those things doesn't really affect me, but I could see it affecting someone like, a black person, per se, in the UK, or, an American born black person who doesn't know. That negative stereotype can affect, one's own self of identity. But for me, like I've said, it's just about educating our people. I think that you're doing something really great.
Thank you so much. Oh, that means a lot to me.
And through your platform, because, when you do this, it is counteracting the negative stereotype.
Okay.
Africa is great. I'm speaking to all the black people in the diaspora. Come back home. You'll be well received. And the people are great. The country is great. There's lots to do here, lots of opportunities, and you'll be well received, welcome back home.
How is the feeling of being here, let me say, at the waterfalls, being interviewed?
It's great. I'm in the company of my brothers and my sisters. So it's just like reuniting with my family. Honestly, that's the feeling for me. It's a feeling of reuniting with my family. And I know that, through your platform, many other Caribbean people, they're going to see this and they're going to want to come to Ghana and to different parts of Africa. It is really home. Wow. Really, really, it is.
Thank you so much. Where can they find you?
I'm not too much on social media, but you can check me on LinkedIn. My name is Devadine Graham. If you look me up on LinkedIn, you'll be able to find me. Maybe Facebook as well, but I'm not really a social media person.
Okay. Thank you so much.